Hey guys, what's going on? It is the beginning of November. Hard to believe we're through the summer and just a couple months away from 2026. But we've got some numbers to break down and take a look at. So let's jump right in. And we've got some interesting stuff to talk about. Clanton Park here, 39 active listings in October. With 5 sales gives us 7.8 months of inventory, which is on the buyer market side. It's on the upper end. We don't talk about this so often. So things have kind of swung in that direction. Average days on market 47. 1.9 is the sale price and 97% of list price. What we look at this and say is that there's a lot of inventory, a lot of properties sitting on the market. Things are taking longer, which we've been talking about throughout the year. 5 sales, which in an average month in Clanton Park is pretty normal. I think, we see, as I look at the historical sales, we see anywhere from about 5 to 8 or 5 to 9 per month, depending on the month. So 5 sales isn't crazy, but given 39 listings, makes that number look really small. 97% of list price. Most things are not selling in competition. They're selling below the asking price, although I have seen 1 or 2 things that have done really well with that competitive strategy. If we pop down to Bathurst Manor, 28 active listings and 6 sales. So the market moving a little bit quicker here in Bathurst Manor versus Clanton Park. 6 sales, 4.6 months of inventory, 12 days on market, which is interesting. Now, the one caveat to talk about with days on market, if something is on the market for 3 months and then terminates and relists at a new price, that new price is what calculates here, not the full time it's been on the market. So just a little asterisk there. 102% of the list price and the average sale price at 1.4. So things not doing too bad actually here in Bathurst Manor. We're seeing a little bit more action. Again, the thing to note with these lower sale numbers, 5 sales, 6 sales, is that the averages can be skewed greatly. If 1 or 2 houses are low price point houses or high price point houses, it can really be a big swing on the average sale price and things like that. But one thing that I wanted to just note and touch on quickly here, that I've been looking at a lot is comparing year over year. So last year to this year. And if we look last year in October, there were 15 active listings on the market when we did our market analysis. This year, like I said, there are 39 properties on the market. So that is up a drastic amount. That's up like 260%. So a huge difference. When there were 15 listings last year in October, there were 7 sales. Now we have 39 listings and 5 sales. So a big difference in terms of inventory on the market and sales slowing down a little bit. If we look back even September last year of 2024, there were 20 active listings. This year, 37. Of the 20 listings, there were 7 sales versus this year in September, 4 sales. So some big swings in terms of that. Sales, year over year sales, October down about 30%, September down about 40%. Same with August. July was up a little bit last year versus this year. So things are really kind of shifting a little bit, just I think mainly because of the amount of inventory we're seeing on the market. So something just to keep in mind. It really goes back to one of the things I say all the time is pricing is so important. How you're sitting in the market compared to the last recent sales, as well as what your competitors are listed for on the market. Having your house prepared and looking its best so that you can attract the best buyers that are out there looking. There are still buyers out there looking. The last couple of weeks in open houses, we've seen almost a little bit of an uptick in people coming out and the traffic coming through open houses and some of the traffic coming through our listings, which is interesting. So there might be, we hope one last little push here in 2025 as we go through November, try to get some of these active listings off the market, get a little bit more sold. I'd love to see the sales in November in both neighborhoods be up, let's call it 5 to 7 units selling in the month. Would be great. Try to bring down that active listing, because I think we'll see active listings lower in December because people will take properties off the market, be a little bit lower at the beginning of January, and then we'll ramp up. So it'll be interesting to see and follow through over the next couple months what happens with that. That's what I would hope in terms of sales that we see. So we'll keep it in mind. Again, if you're curious about how this affects your specific house or your situation, reply to the email, shoot me a DM, get in touch, give me a call, whatever you'd like. I'm happy to sit down and talk with you more specifically about your situation and your property and how this market affects you. Have a great month, and we'll talk to you in December.